So bullshit that I get when I turn in schizophrenic people. Bunch of schizophrenic bullshit. A bunch of delusional ass hattery. Bunch of false allegations. You screw up, so you make false allegations. That's not too bright. That's not very fucking intelligent. Just saying. Now, of course, you went to your friends and family, and you're getting verbal support there. These guys might actually help you do that paperwork. Which is far better help than you've ever been. Maybe they'll actually help you with this stuff instead of telling you that 144,000 of your people are going to heaven over and over and over again. You're angry that I told the truth. Now, here's the problem with you wanting to complain that the truth is somehow slander. You're slandering my name. Maybe it's best not to do that, especially when somebody's got recordings. So they're telling the truth. Now, I get it. 3 hours worth of recordings. Most people aren't going to listen to it. You have the ability currently, right now, at this very moment, if you did record it like you claim that you did, maybe you did. Maybe you'll go through and you'll clip out the little bits and pieces where I'm interrupting you. And then you'll post up just that part. The thing is, you talk down to me like I was a fucking retard. There's evidence needs to be turned in. There's very specific people it needs to be turned into. If your daughter is fucking molested, there are people you need to turn that into. You say your daughter was abducted and taken somewhere? Well, why aren't we trying to turn that in? That's kind of the fucking point of working together. Now, like you were saying, you got plenty of resources and you reach out to those resources. That's very nice. So if you know what resources you can reach out to help you, does that mean that they're going to help me? What I need is a friend or family member to turn in the crimes that have been committed against me. You got all this nutty stuff in your own head. And of course, I show you how horrible it is that the things that you are doing to me, I show you how horrible they feel. How is talking about yourself helping me? How is telling me about your imaginary spaceman helping me? How is that helping me to get safely away from police officers who have been repeatedly predatory towards me? Have gone out of their way to speak down to me, talk down to me, threaten, harass, and intimidate me. And of course, they think it's okay. Kind of like you think that threatening, harassing, and intimidating me into doing only what you want instead of turning into who it needs to be turned into. Wasting my time for days and days and my resources for days and days to talk about you. Well, let's turn it in. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's fucking do something instead of you and I both bitching about our fucking problems. You're going to tell me that your daughter was abducted, is in a foster home, being raped and or molested by her cousin in such and such a place. That needs to be turned in now, right away. Your daughter did the right thing by coming to a friend or family member. Did you turn it in right away? Obviously, if they abducted your daughter, you cannot turn it in with your daughter. But they do need to take the allegations seriously. Why didn't they? Did you ever try to turn it in? See, here's the thing. Kandace Edwards is this lady that Stephanie Larkin wanted to pass the buck on, wanted to pass me on to this other person. I need a friend or family member to help me turn in these crimes. If you're not that friend, you can leave. That's the only thing where Kandace Edwards gets a free pass. She never pretended to be my fucking friend. She did pretend like she was going to do what a friend or family is supposed to do, but instead, she's having me talk to this guy, GJ, who won't stop with his schizophrenic ramblings, and talking about 144,000 autistic people is all going to heaven, is all going to heaven. They talk real thick Southern like, right? Not with a hint of a Swedish accent. Not with a hint of a Spanish accent. These peoples is peoples who has grown up in the South learning ignorant redneck bullshit and learning to blame the Almighty for everything. In the Lord's name, amen. Oh, that girl is so stupid. Bless her heart. Oh, it's bless her heart. Call them hun and sweetie. And all of a sudden, magically, you, an honest person, because you said hun and sweetie, and fuck no. Are you fucking kidding me? Shit, if I call you hun and sweetie, how well is that going to fucking go over, hun? How well is that going to go over, sweetie? It's not going to go over well, even if I say it nicely. But you could say it to me, and of course that's supposed to denote that you pretending to care, pretending to. Like when you say, oh, he's so ugly, bless his heart. You're still being a superficial asshole about somebody's looks. And you're showing that, of course, you are well aware that looks do make a difference in a lot of stuff. How many of you women, or young girls even, I want you to think back to when you were young girls before you became adults. How many times your mama tell you, oh, you and him have some cute kids. You guys have some cute babies. You guys have some gorgeous babies. You guys have some gorgeous kids. You guys have some good-looking kids. Looks are important. Whether or not you listen to somebody is highly dependent upon looks. Whether you believe the bullshit coming out of their mouth is highly dependent on their looks. And, of course, on your personal bias. What were you taught? Is that really what the churches is teaching these days? That there's 144,000 people, only 144,000 people going to heaven, and they're all autistic? Only the autistics are going to heaven? That's not help. Listen. Listen to the victim and help them turn it in. If you're going to talk over the victim, talk down to the victim like they're a fucking idiot. And of course, preach to the victim like they don't know better because they're fucking retarded. That's not the victim's fault. You are literally doing everything except what should be done. You're trying to pawn me off on other people like Stephanie Larkin did with Kandace Edward. But Kandace Edward runs a site, and I looked at the site, and I read what was on it. It's about 30 people who are all exhibiting schizophrenic fucking traits. Delusional fucking traits. Do you really honestly and truly believe that your fucking tarot cards can tell you the future? Do you honestly believe that your tarot cards are going to tell you whether or not somebody's a killer? How many of these tarot card reading nut jobs wanted to claim that they knew I killed Natalie because they saw it in a vision while reading their cards and crazy shit like that? Holy fuck. Really? And there's fucking nut jobs who believe this goddamn hoopla. Turned out they were all wrong. Joseph Lopez shot her in the fucking head over her family fucking abusing her. She tried to make them happy by trying to flame me for fucking blowing her goddamn head off. After her and her friends did exactly what this... Well, I can't blame Caitlin Edwards. This didn't start with Caitlin Edwards. Stephanie Larkin wanted to play fucking head games, and then she wanted to fucking pawn me off on Kandace Edwards. But it didn't start with her either. She's one of them web nut jobs, wanted to send me a friend request, pretend like she was my friend, pretend like she cared, pretend like she was going to help, and what did she do? Ignored me and fucking pawned me off on others and told me how to think and feel. Huh. When you want to continue to talk over me, over and over again, and then you want to yell at me when I try to get heard, when obviously all of the things that I have said to you have gone in one ear and out the other, and now you're still telling me about your stuff. Okay, are we going to turn any of this in? I got a room for 2 days there. Are we going to turn any of it in? So then we got Stephanie Larkin wanted to push that he must be a Chimo thing. Where have we seen this before? Natalie Bollinger. Did Natalie Bollinger accuse me of being a pedophile? No. How about Alicia Bollinger? Did she accuse me of being a pedophile? No. Because the abuse that I had to go through over the lie that they did tell. Natalie Bollinger claimed that I stalked her to Virginia. That was obviously not the case, and the evidence obviously shows otherwise. But nobody wants to fucking look at it. So that lie right there, pretending like I stalked her to Virginia, and her sister lying and claiming that I threatened her and her family in Virginia, also not the fucking case. Obviously not the fucking case. But because they said it, it must be true, and it's okay to harm me for a whole fucking year. When I try to get help, people want to talk over me. No, there are two things. Listen to the fucking victim. Help them turn it in. That's what a family member is supposed to do. Yes, there are steps to take to cover your ass. Like fucking recording it. And doing so with someone else. Not, here's this fucking list and here's that list. No, I need to fucking turn in crimes that were committed against me. And I need a safe fucking environment. The people at this point that I'm supposed to contact is who? The Oregon Governor's Advocacy Agency. Oregon Governor's Advocacy Agency. For what? Six months now? And everybody wants to fucking argue. And like that Doug Thunder guy, sure, he wanted to help and he was pretty close to Hood River. But then all he wanted to do is post up a bunch of fucking sexist bullshit against women. No, that's not fucking okay. There's a difference between woman bashing and pointing out that we teach women some very horrible things in this country. There is a big difference between objectifying a woman's vagina while complaining that they won't give up their vagina I don't see how that helps me with anything. How does that help me to turn in my predators? You're not being a friend or a family member. Oh, you think being friendly because you're lonely and you understand lonely, that I must just be lonely. No, it's not just being lonely. When you're abused and you want help turning that shit in, you try to get help turning in that abuse. When you're afraid of the fucking cops because they abuse poor people, you go to a friend or family member and they're too afraid of the cops to try, or they tell you it's not going to work. That's the most common one right there. Here's what the legal eagles require of Sean Schwartz and the witnesses. And then there's the assumptions that the witnesses want to pretend. Oh, if I ignore it and don't look at the evidence, they call that plausible deniability. But you've been told about it, you've been sent it, you've had the opportunity to look at it. When you procrastinate and it fucks somebody else over, do you care? One of the crimes committed against me was Stephanie Larkin, trying to pull that whole pedo shit. She was told to leave. She did not respect my boundaries, didn't care about my boundaries. Has she left my friends list yet? That's a simple request. Someone asks you to leave their friends list and you start calling them a pedophile? Really? Really, Stephanie Larkin? How about that GJ feller? Now he wants to play in like I'm some pedophile from 1989. Fucking Christ. Where have we dealt with this before? With junkies from the South. Natalie and Alicia Bollinger. Their mommy, their stepdaddy, their stepmommies, ex-boyfriends, people that they used to sell fucking drugs to, people they still sold. Alicia Bollinger is probably still selling drugs. She is probably still selling methamphetamines. She's probably only a few years away from picking her fucking face off. People are dumb. Plan accordingly. And that's why I got recording devices. You don't want to get involved now that you've already been involved. Oh, I get that. You'd like to fucking backtrack. I would love to backtrack. It would be nice to go all the way back to 2016, turn off my phone and just let Natalie kill herself. Just let her do it. She's telling me I'm the only person that she can go to about these problems. Told me that the reason she didn't kill herself 100 times was because she thought of me. Well, don't fucking think of me. She was going to end up dead anyway. It's just a fucking horrible twist of fucking bullshit that because I have a penis, she had to destroy my life in the process for being a good man. If she was just going to have somebody blow her head off anyway, it's too bad she didn't do it all the way back in 2016 before destroying my life. With her friends and her family. Fucking junkies. And fucking child rapists. And fucking murderers. People who beat on their fucking wives. And that's your go-to as a woman when you do something fucking horrible. You pretend you must be a pedophile. Fucking gross. Of course, GJ, is he a woman? No. Women reach out to men to destroy a man's life, and it's like that. It's instantaneously they will do this, especially if you're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl. Stephanie Larkin, everybody knows she's nuttier than squirrel turd. She's always posting up about the Jesus and her tarot cards. Kandace Edwards kind of sort of holds it together a little bit better, but just fucking barely. But GJ is just as fucking nutty as Stephanie Larkin. And as far as 144,000 autistic people are going to heaven, 144,000 autistic people are going to heaven. You and your people are going to heaven. You people are so smart, but now I'm gonna talk to you real slow like, 'cause I'm just gonna assume that you're retarded. Well, that don't feel good, Stephanie Larkin. Being on the receiving end of that is not fucking cool. Being on the receiving end of that from GJ ain't fucking cool. Did I ever get that from Stephanie Larkin? I don't fucking know. Did I get that out of Kandace Edwards? Absolutely. But this is literally how easy it is. This is literally how easy it is to go out of your way to pretend like you're a victim if you get busted doing something fucking stupid and something wrong. You showed that you didn't care about me by talking over me over and over again. The things that you said you understood, you literally did not understand because you literally did those things. After claiming you understood, don't make fucking fake accounts in my goddamn name. You never have my permission for that. Now it makes me wonder why the fuck you were trolling for personal information other than turning in the fucking crimes. Not fucking okay. But then there's also, of course, Kandace Edwards wants to claim that she's got a team of hackers. What are the chances that some of the people that she's getting a hold of are hackers? Of course, this might be just another delusion of hers, like the Illuminati being involved in her death or in her birth. I don't fucking know. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's or sister's keeper. And no victim left behind, not even if they're the victim of a female.